the last 2 years in Austin, Texas and surrounding areas, we have been in a pretty strong buyer's market. And over the past couple months, I've been in touch with lots of clients that are wanting to sell their home. And of course, they all want to know, what do they actually need to do to not just get their home sold in this market, but also walk away with some kind of profit. I've been thinking a lot about what is actually necessary to sell a home correctly in a buyer's market, because it is so completely different than what we were experiencing in 2021 and 22, that I think it's important to have a clear step-by-step guide of exactly what needs to be done to any home to get it sold. So I'm going to share with you everything that I'm telling my clients today so that we can get their homes sold. Hi guys, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor here in Austin, Texas. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home anywhere in the Austin area, please contact me. I love connecting with y'all. Also, if you see me out and about, come say hi. I think it's super cool to say hello to people in person. If you're watching one of my videos from any other part of the US or the Americas and you need to buy or sell a home wherever you may be, contact me, because I do have realtor partners all over the US that are ready, willing, and able to help. So if you need help buying or selling wherever you are, contact me. If you are somebody that is thinking about selling your home while it is very much a buyer's market, or if you're just thinking about selling your home in general, I've got a list of things and ideas that I offer to my seller clients to prepare their home for market so we can have an effective sale. The market right now for sellers is extremely competitive. Normally in Austin, there have been anywhere from about 5,000 to 6,000 homes on the market at any given time. In 2021 and 2022, that number dropped drastically to about 1,800 to maybe sometimes 2,000 homes on the market at one time. The lack of inventory and outrageous demand is what caused housing prices to skyrocket almost overnight. Today, we are looking at a completely different landscape when it comes to the real estate market and our inventory. In part of 2023, 24, and now in 2025, we have consistently had anywhere from about 12,000 to 15,000 homes on the market in the Austin area at any given time. That is literally 3 times the amount of what we would have in a normal, healthy, kind of balanced market. So for that reason, homes are sitting on the market for much longer. Buyers are being extremely choosy, and having all of these options gives home buyers reasons to nitpick at things that they may not have necessarily noticed before. So when we are about to sell a home, there's a bunch of stuff that we need to do to make sure we are fully in order and ready to sell your home effectively. When I meet with a seller client, of course, we talk about their home and the overall condition. We also talk about what their goal is and what needs to happen in a particular time frame. From there, we will go through the home together, and I always ask for deficiencies that they know about the home. We all know what our homes are lacking. We all know what needs attention. There's always some portion of the home that you're like, oh God, I wish this could be taken care of. Well, when you put the home on the market, that is the time to take care of it. We'll make a very detailed punch list and to-do list before we put the home on the market. So now I'm gonna share with you what that list usually entails so you can start prepping mentally, or maybe your actual house as well, for market. So let's jump in. I have a list of non-negotiables with my seller clients that we must address in pretty much every home, whether it is newer, hardly lived in, or if it's a home that you've lived in for a long time and it might be a little bit older. I know some of these are probably going to be kind of obvious, but I think it's important to mention them so there's nothing left to interpretation. One of the first things that is super important, of course, is deep cleaning, and not just like coming in and getting a nice cleaning by a cleaning company. I mean, having somebody come in that is a professional at doing make-readies. So this is where they would come in and do a full deep clean on appliances. They would clean out the cabinets. They would clean the baseboards, clean the windows inside and outside, because that's really what's going to make the home pop. Now, if your home has carpet, I always recommend a carpet shampoo. If the carpet is old and it's just beyond repair, you probably will need to replace the carpet. Hopefully it's just in a bedroom or maybe a couple bedrooms, and it'll be fairly cost effective. Having fresh or new flooring wherever possible, of course, is going to make a big difference. Another thing that I've learned is really important is paint. When I was first starting my career, I used to think that it was okay to go through the home and just do touch-up paint and it would be fine. The truth is that doesn't usually look good. So if you have a wall that's got a bunch of scuffs on it, you'll probably need to repaint the entire wall. Doesn't mean you need to repaint the entire house, unless all the walls, of course, are scuffed or have dings, etc. But generally speaking, if one wall has a bunch of scuffs, it's important just to paint the entire thing. Now, this next point is something I think people don't necessarily think about, but if you're going to be living in your home while the home is on the market, it's going to be just as important to shampoo and clean your upholstery furniture. So things like sofas, love seats, rugs, if you have an upholstered bed, that's all got to be cleaned. We don't want any finger marks. We don't want any stains on it. We definitely don't want old smells to be coming out of your furniture. Yeah, the fresher and cleaner everything is, of course, the better, not just in photos, but also when we are showing the home. Landscaping is also something that I think is highly underrated. A lot of times people think because they have a newer home and the outside looks fine, that it's okay. No, we need to have all the garden beds fully addressed. We need to replace mulch if there are flowers or trees that are missing or things that are dying. We have to take those out and plant new ones in their place. When people come see your home for the first time, we definitely want it to have as warm of a feeling as possible. And a lot of times flowers and colorful plants will help achieve that just from the start. And while we are talking about the exterior, 95% of the time, I recommend that folks get a power wash. A lot of times I recommend that they get a power wash in the driveway, sometimes even in the garage, the walkway up to the front door. If you have a patio or a large concrete space in the backyard, we want to power wash those off to make it look as new and clean as possible. Also, some more details on the exterior. I've also found that getting a brand new, big, huge, over-the-top doormat is really important. It adds a lot of pop to photos, and it's also one of the first things that home buyers will see when they're literally walking into your house, and it's gonna give them a good impression that your home is going to be clean and put together. A couple other non-negotiables that I have with my clients are servicing the HVAC system. Of course, everybody's HVAC AC system is going to be a different age. I don't know how old yours is, but having it serviced is going to be monumental. Having a receipt or report of work done to the HVAC system is going to give the buyer peace of mind that things are being maintained in the home. I always tell my home buyer and my home seller clients that how a seller does anything is how they do everything. So if the big systems in the home are really well maintained and everything's taken care of, you can rest assured that the home is going to be in generally good condition. There's been multiple instances where I go out and look at homes with clients and the carpet's dirty and the baseboards are kind of gross. You can tell the AC filter hasn't been changed sometimes in years. And guess what? Most of the time the inspection reports on those homes come back an absolute disaster. Along with servicing your HVAC system, it is crucial to service the water heater as well. Doesn't matter if your house is only a couple years old or maybe it's even like a decade old, a water heater can have a long life. I've seen them last literally 15 to 20 years if they are really well maintained. So having consistent maintenance, draining them, and making sure they're tuned up and to code is going to be super helpful and really important when a buyer does their inspection. Now going back to the interior of the home and getting more granular with details, I personally think it is super important to do a grout cleaning. Whether you have tile on your floor or maybe you have tile backsplash in your kitchen, if you're able to get it professionally cleaned, that is going to make the tile or the backsplash look literally brand new. There are plenty of companies throughout Austin that will do a deep grout cleaning. There are also a bunch of products on Amazon that are extremely effective where you can clean your tile and make it look really great. Of course, it's gonna take a lot more work and it takes a lot more effort, but the results are definitely worth it. Yeah, there are two more things that are, I would say, a bit arduous to prepare your home for sale, but also extremely important. It's extremely important to get a professional inspection of your home before putting it on the market or even before you start working on it, because then of course you've got a list of things that need to be addressed. Also, if we have that inspection report with the list of items that have already been taken care of to show our buyer, that shows that we're going to be in really good standing and we're giving the buyer the home in the best condition that we possibly know how to. And since we're talking about items that are more granular and more specific, if you have the time and if you have the budget, it's also going to be really helpful to replace old faucets, old hardware, old doorknobs, rusted out hinges, anything that doesn't look fresh and doesn't look good. I'm personally a huge fan of installing new doorknobs and new door hinges literally to any door. That will make the home look so much newer and so much fresher. Finally, if you have pets or if you've been in your home for a long time, sometimes our houses can absorb a smell. I'd rather be straightforward with you and just tell you the truth. Some houses smell bad. It almost doesn't matter how much cleaning you do, they're always gonna hold this smell, which is actually part of the reason why it's important to potentially change out carpets if that's an option for you. Let's say you've done your super deep clean. Let's say you replaced some carpet in some of the extra bedrooms, and let's say you've shampooed all of the furniture and the house still kind of has an underlying smell. I 100% getting an ozone machine from Amazon. An ozone machine is basically a black box that filters the air and neutralizes all odors. The process to do this is pretty easy. You put the little black box of an ozone machine in the house and you let it run for 24 to 48 hours. The one big caveat with this is that you're not supposed to be in the house while it is running. I've made the mistake of doing that and it basically like cuts up your throat and then it's really hard to breathe. It's not gonna kill you, but it's really uncomfortable, and I think for more than a few minutes it's probably not safe. Lastly, and this is huge, and I see people make this mistake all the time, and I don't know why, but it is so crucial to get professional photos and get a floor plan with your photos. Every now and then I'll be looking at homes to show my buyer clients, and without fail, there's always a home where a realtor went around with their cell phone and took poorly lit photos at weird angles. Do not do that. If for some reason you hire a realtor and they say they're going to put your home on the market with cell phone photos, call me. We need to work together. We need to get your home marketed correctly. Professional photos are where it is at. I personally have a bunch of professional real estate photographers that do a phenomenal job, and it doesn't even take that long. If you have a smaller home that's like 13 to 1500 square feet, we're talking maybe half an hour. If you have a larger home that's like 2000 to about 3500 square feet, you're looking at maybe an hour, 20 minutes to get really good photos done. Also, you should know that this is a fee that realtors cover as a home seller. This is not something that you pay for. So please do not be tricked into believing that you need to pay for professional photos. However, they are absolutely crucial to have because most home buyers are going to be looking at photos of your home online before they come look at it in person. And the representation of your home needs to be spot on. We really don't have room to play around with the quality of photos in this market. So guys, that is pretty much everything that we need to do in order to get a home ready for market in the Austin area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home in this instance and you live in Austin or surrounding suburbs, please contact me. I love hearing from you guys. And if you have questions about the process of selling, obviously leave a comment or contact me directly. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Daphne Quaig, your boss lady realtor. Till next time.